All right, so it looks like we are good to go here. Um, yeah, so today we are going to be talking about 3D printing. Again, I apologize if you can hear my computer. It's making a weird whirring noise. Um, I need to get underneath it and clean out the fans of dust or whatever, but that's besides the point. Anyways, we're going to be talking about 3D printing today. Um, Specifically what it is, who's using it, why are they using it, where are they using it, when are they using it, how it applies to the United Nations 17 SDG goals, and also obviously our two truths and one lie. We always do it. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting with what is 3D printing? So the most generic definition is that you can pull from online. Anyone can look it up and see this. It's the action or process of making a physical object from a three-dimensional digital model, typically by laying down many thin layers of material in succession, right? So basically, the best way to describe it is a fabricator, right? You give this machine a blueprint, which tells it how, like the design of whatever it is you want to make. Um, and then it'll make it for you with whatever material. Um, and of course, it can be anything, right? Now, you can make a phone or something like that. However, it's not just going to work like as a phone. It's just going to build like for lack of better term, I'm going to say the mold. So imagine a phone like this, but it's made completely out of metal, and there is no glass here. That's also metal. So it's just like a replica in a sense. It won't actually work. Now it could if you apply all of the required materials and stuff to be able to do that. It is possible. You'll have to make the physical objects required and then piece it all together. But that's besides the point. Anyways, so who exactly is using these 3D printers? So really anyone, any company that has a desire to make items that they could print rather than purchase. I mean, they might invest in something like that. So manufacturing companies, I mean, that's a very basic one. I'm actually going to go ahead and get into where are they using it just to kind of back up this what I just said. So I'm going to go ahead and list these out and explain a little bit each by each. So like the medical field, dental field, prosthetics, bioprinting, and organs. So medical field, and this kind of goes with prosthetics. I guess you could say they can 3D print a prosthetic leg or an arm or something of that sort um, to be able to use. So, say somebody comes in, let's say this person has a rare condition that makes them very, very skinny. You know, they're bony looking, right? Well, if they lose a limb, they're going to need a specialized prosthetic to be able to fit that limb. Well, the key or the importance of having a 3D printer is they can get the measurements of that person. So like they can take the circumference of that arm um, and measure it and create like a blueprint to be able to incorporate into the machine. And they can 3D print a prosthetic arm or a leg or something like that right then and right there. So it's very helpful. And the one I can really think for dental is if they need to make like a mold per se of someone's teeth. That's like a common way. Like if they need to make dentures or something like that. Now, why are they using 3D printers? Well, they're very efficient. They're very accessible from what I just said. There's many instances. It's very, very helpful um, to be able to have a 3D printer in those circumstances. It can also be very cost efficient. 3D printers themselves are expensive. However, um, you need to think about the end goal, right? So say say you're in a medical field, right? you own a business in the medical field, hospital, right? And just throw an odd battle out. This could be way off. I don't care. It's just an arbitrary number. Say it costs $1.5 million annually in purchasing prosthetics, right? That's a lot of money. But if they invest in a 3D printer, that can cut costs down to 750,000, right? Now it's still a lot of money, but that's besides the point. 3D printers can cost less over time with what they can make rather than purchasing something. So I bet you money that if you 3D printed, say, a prosthetic, it's going to cost a lot less than it were to if you're going to buy it from some third-party source or some other company. So yeah, when are they using this? Whenever. It could be on the daily. It could be whenever a special request is needed. It just entirely depends. Now, how this pertains to the SDG goals. This actually is, if I remember doing my research, it helps every single one of them. And I would say all of them, but I can't have this video going on for too long. So if you want to find out for yourself, you'll just have to look. However, I will list the first 3 that I thought were pretty good. It helps poverty, zero hunger, and good health and well-being. So poverty, it reduces cost of buying products. So that kind of goes back to what I said about my example with the prosthetics. It would cost less to just create it with 3D printer rather than going out and buying it. So that reduces the amount of money it would cost. Zero hunger. So this is in the works. So this one doesn't necessarily apply, but it is still, we're close to it. And the best way I can describe it, this is zero hunger. The best way I can describe it is if you guys have watched Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I hope you have. Great movie. Basically what he does is he types some stuff in a computer, make eggs, and then this fabricator makes the eggs, whatever you want, right? Well, that's essentially what this is, right? For zero hunger, NASA is actually developing a 3D printer, food printer, right? The only difference is that you're going to have the right proteins, carbohydrates, nutrients, stuff like that, for it to be created. So if you have those ingredients, you'll be able to make it. So it's in the process. So essentially think of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and Flint Lockwood's machine. That's essentially what that's going to be. And I could save a lot of money, or not so much save a lot of money, but it can feed a lot of people. So good health and well-being. So it is highly untapped. Like there's a lot of untapped potential with 3D printers, and it has the potential to transform the quality and accessibility of healthcare around the world, and not just healthcare, many other different fields. I mean, just having that accessibility with those 3D printers to be able to print things on command, like a prosthetic arm or leg, that's very universal. And the same thing with like if you need to create like internal organ or something, someone wouldn't have to wait for like a outside donor. They can just print one right there. All right, so now I'm going to move in because I think I'm carrying this on for a little too long. Let's go into our 2 truths and 1 lie. So again, I'm just going to read out 3 statements, and you're to decide which are the 2 truths and which one's the lie. So here we go. 3D printing can print many things with a reasonable product. By product, I mean like a resource, because in order to print something, you have to have a resource. So if you want to print a fork, you need to have a resource to do that with, so like plastic or metal. 3D printing does not print usable items. It's more for a decorative sense. And then 3D printing is used by many manufacturing companies. All right, so again, that concludes this video. I hope you guys learned something from it. If you'd like to do some more research, I definitely encourage you to. You can learn a lot from them, especially because it's being implemented as we speak, being more and more developed. So anyways, that concludes the video. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video.